welcome once again to another Atos Smart Manufacturing Fireside Chat. It's going to be an awesome talk we're going to have today. It's a Humanity Series episode, and especially today, it's World Mental Health Day. So I'm really looking forward on what we're going to talk about because, we all learn, especially during the last time, there can be a lot of pressure on you, especially if you are sitting home alone in your office, getting all the things done and having some extra pressure and getting everything right with the family. Today, I'm so happy that I can welcome two great guests to this show. And first one I would like to bring on stage, and this is a person that you have seen maybe never, because Tim, you're always behind the scenes. You are keeping everything together. You are the one having the most pressures when we're doing a LinkedIn Live, when we're doing a manufacturing fireside chat, because you're taking care that everything works. So most pressure is on your side. I'm so happy that I have you here with you, Tim. It's so great. Hello.
It's great to be here. Thank you, Friso. It's strange to be in front of the camera instead of frantically behind the camera, sorting out fireside chats. But great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. And so great that you also made the time and wanted to come in front of the stage, because being backside, that's pressure, making everything work. And mental health is also quite an important topic for yourself from a personal point of view. You want to tell us more about that, Tim?
Yeah, so I mean, this has been on my list to kind of talk about openly for a while, having struggled with my own mental health from my mid-20s. So it feels like it's going to be a big tick off my list. Really happy to be in the studio today and bringing in Mary Dawson, who I think we can bring in now and kick off the discussion. Hi, Mary.
We will do that right away. Hi, Mary. So great to have you here with us. I'm just putting you up in front so you can have the talk. I will be the listener and I'm going to help. And Tim, thank you for sharing also your story with us. This is really something great. Really? I think you can already do the tick box of that.
Well, let's get going. Thank you very much, Friso. And Mary, thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me. Let's start by just doing a bit of introduction. What's your name? Where you come from?
Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, so I am Mary Dawson, as you say. I am a HR business partner in Atos. I head up the HR delivery and projects for Northern Europe, so I have a big team. But I'm also one of the co-founders for the Mental Health First Aiders in the United Kingdom and Ireland. It's an area I'm very passionate about. It's something that I feel doesn't get spoken about enough still, even though it's been raised yearly and often monthly, but there's still a lot to do, and I'm quite passionate about making sure that we deliver that message that there should be no stigma associated with poor mental health. So as a mental health first aider, my role really is just to listen, not to judge anyone, and just give reassurance. I'm not medically trained. I'm just really there to signpost anyone who comes to me and ensure that they reach out to the right professional care that's necessary for them.
Great, and I completely agree. We're still on the journey of making mental health as open as possible as it can be. But how have you seen over the past few years the transition of not talking about mental health, it being that huge stigma to where we are now, where we are more open, but still more to do?
Yeah, I think there's still a lot more to do. I think certainly when I compare what we've done in Atos of late, there's been vast improvements. There's been signposting going on in Atos in particular. So I think that there's always more work to be done. Demographics, I think, also play a part in mental well-being, and that could be generational. It could be the place where you're brought up. So there will be pockets, I think, that still need to improve. But certainly, it's great, that we're having this conversation. That you're feeling comfortable, and that's amazing. Well done. Speaking out about your struggles is really going to help, really improve. Because we shouldn't feel nervous about speaking out about how we are, because we all have mental health. Let's not kid ourselves. At the end of the day, it's just, where are you in that spectrum? If you really are struggling, that's going to affect you physically, not just mentally. And if you're ill, with a physical illness, you go and see the doctor.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I get passionate about it, but we could do more, and we should look after ourselves. And I think when it comes to mental health, we don't do enough.
No, I completely agree, and I wouldn't say I'm comfortable, but I mean, I think it's important, and that's why I wanted to do this, to kind of give a perspective of. I keep saying like a young male. I'm 36 now. I'm not necessarily a young male, but to give the perspective of my journey. So I think mid to 25, 26. I spoke to my family, my friends about I was struggling with my mental health. And from that, I contacted AXA through Atos, and I had professional help for depression. And I would say that my only kind of regrets from that period is I went to have therapy, but I attended expecting there to be some results from just by attending, and that's not how it works. And it was only, I'd say, over a year ago, 2 years ago, when I went back, and there was kind of a light bulb moment for me that in order to kind of make the improvements that I needed for myself, so where I was at the time is I'd lost myself, as in what was important to me, and I realized I didn't have any hobbies outside of work and socializing with friends. I remember being on a dating website, and it said, "What are your hobbies?" And I put football and tennis, and I realized I hadn't played it for about 2 years, either of them. So I'd completely lost what made me happy. And yeah, going back to therapy and learning about myself was just huge.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think one thing to say from my experience is that we all have different ways of coping, and I think I have to write down my coping plan. I need it to refer back to, but what we forget to do all too often is respect ourselves and love ourselves. So going through therapy isn't always going to be the right thing for you. You've got to find the right what works for you. People talk a lot about meditation. I struggle, although I'm practicing and I continue to practice, and I'm improving. But mindfulness is something that I find really, really beneficial. But for me, mindfulness is walking and connecting with nature, rather than sitting and physically meditating in a chair.
I completely agree. There's the local town I live in, Nantwich. They've got a system called the Happiness Hub, and it's for people with it's quite fresh. It's only been a couple of weeks, but I met someone there who works in a doctor's surgery. He's not medically trained, but he has meetings with people to talk through what they're going through, and to see if there's a way that, like we've both said, whether it's meditation or hobbies, where they can help them and assist them going back into these interests of theirs, instead of going down the medical route. And I think that's what we're both talking about. And it's great to see that there's, I mean, this is in the UK, but that we have those kind of facilities now aiding.
Yes, yeah, very much so.
So obviously we both work for Atos. What tools are there within Atos to help employees support their mental well-being?
I mean, interestingly, you referenced the support you got through the UK programme. One thing that I would like to highlight is how the pandemic has really impacted mental well-being globally. What Atos, for me, one thing I'm so proud of being part of is that COVID support. How Atos reacted to it in supporting people if they had to remain in the offices, if they've had to stay or start working remotely. So from encouraging video calls, for encouraging managers and briefing managers to check in on people, having buddying systems for people to support each other. We did some kids fun days online, remote working. We've done a lot around signposting people in their respective countries to the right support that's available to help them. And let's not kid ourselves, we all probably drank too much, we ate too much, we didn't exercise, all of those good things that we're trying to rectify now. And we've got virtual tours. We did the Tokyo. We're now doing the Netherlands to Scotland, getting people outside now that we can, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Connecting, the connection for me is so important. And we've become isolated. A lot of us have lost loved ones. We've become isolated, and that's perhaps withdrawn some of our natural tendencies. So we don't know the impact at the moment around what mental health problems we're going to have because of the pandemic. But I have to say, Atos, for me, the support that's been put out and available to our employees has been really, really good. They've reacted really well in supporting mental and physical well-being throughout the whole period. And now that we're starting to gradually go back into the offices, some more quickly than others, again, supporting managers around, circumstances have changed. Our domestic environment has changed. So really, recognizing that, just bringing people back into the office isn't going to be the norm now. And there's projects and teams looking at what's the right way to work going forward, knowing that some people do have to work in the office, but how do we support people who may have to now return, and what does that look like? So it's been good.
Yeah, I agree. Friso, so I mean, what's your view? Any questions from you? You've been very quiet today.
Of course, no. It's really I'm listening, because sometimes, especially when it comes to mental health, it's more about like listening than to talking. And yeah, most of you out there know me just like talking and always just like having point of view. But it's really what I feel. Really, just listening sometimes also takes so much pressure from a person that struggles in a way, because one of the most important things is that you are in some way maybe a bit anxious to talk, but would like to be heard, that somebody is there where you can share your own problem with. And that's something really where to start. And sometimes that's even the hardest start. And of course, I have to be honest, I felt caught when Mary said that we didn't do exercise, we ate too much and all those things. Maybe that can happen. That's why I'm just like always hiding behind that dark background in that and wearing dark colors, because it's just like on TV, you have to take special care of that as well. No, it's really great. And I can also say, coming now from Austria's side, what they've done, how they really took care, even supporting people to move computer goods and all that, taking care of extra challenges they had with taking care of the kids or other obligations you had to do in a family life. So that was outstanding. That was really nothing you are normally known that whatever any company would do for you. They would maybe give you a faster laptop or an extra headset, but that's pretty much it. And you have to pick that up. No, they were moving computer screens to the people who needed screens at that, supporting them in their work, but on the same side asking, well, how do you feel? Can we help you in a personal way? And you said, like, when you go to a doctor, that's true. I always say our mental health is like the 10th organ, and we just like should feel absolutely happy to go there and say, oh, it's not my stomach, it's not my brain, it's like my mental health.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that's probably my main takeaway on what, hopefully people who are watching take away from this. I know it's always said, I'm not saying anything revolutionary, but it's okay to be not okay. And, reach out to your friends, to your family, speak to someone. Anyone who follows me on LinkedIn will know that over the pandemic, I did online quizzes because I posted it all the time. And we raised money for Mind Charity. But just from doing those quizzes, I had some friends and families reach out to me to say that they'd been struggling as well. And without that discussion, I wouldn't have known that. Other people wouldn't have known that. So just share your feelings, and you'll be surprised at how many other people are either going through something or have been through something and can help you, or just listen.
Right.
Sorry, Friso.
Yeah. No. I think that's one of the most important things, to be sure that there is somebody out there, that you are not alone, that's not special thinking. If you're sitting at home, whatever, starting early, starting late, having obligations, you might just like lose track on what's my why. Yeah. To see like, hey, I'm there. I'm just like part of any machinery. You don't feel important anymore in that way, because you just feel you have to do the things and keep it working and all that. And it's like, where am I? Where's somebody taking care of me? And I think not being anxious, speaking out is a thing.
Yeah, and I think it's really important, you say, not taking care of me. I think we can't take care of others unless we look after ourselves first.
Right.
So
100%.
something
Yeah.
for me that I've had to learn and I have to practice, consciously do. I have a bit of an ego. I think I'm invincible in work and I'm needed, and it means getting up early and working longer hours. And I have to shake that ego off and just say, no, I need to take time for my family, connect with friends, and I have to block time in my diary to make me have a lunch break. And I spend time then, with my mother-in-law who lives with us now and I care for, and that's important. That's really important. But I don't. That doesn't come naturally for me. I have to make it happen.
Mhm.
I have to look after myself. And if I love myself, I can love others better. And that's the thing for me, that we forget, we neglect ourselves too much. And we need to be, we absolutely, if we're struggling, we need to be able to connect with others and reach out to them. And it's got to be someone you trust. And a lot of what we do around mental health, I think, is really linked into that connection. I think we have to
100%. Yeah.
reach out and talk about things openly, as you've done, and Tim, that for me is the big opening for so many other people, and they'll see how you are willing to share the struggles that you've had and the difficulties. And it doesn't always, you don't recover overnight. If you're broken, if you've got to such a state, you will need to recover, and it takes time,
Mhm.
and you have to be patient.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's something that you mentioned, broken fix. It's something that you have to continue to work with. It's not a case of there's a magic pill to kind of move away from a poor mental health. You have to keep checking yourself. I'm sure there's a rap song about that. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. So I think that's I think that's the main thing, really, is that you're on a journey, and it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to work through them.
Mhm.
So that's my final takeaway. Mary, is it ready? And thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Oh, it's a
It means a
pleasure.
lot.
Absolute pleasure. I guess my takeaway is to learn to love yourselves. I think if you are struggling, then, we've talked about it, reach out for help, reach out to someone you trust,
Yep.
family member, colleague, whoever, at the end of the day. Connection, be active, take notice of what's around us. Just for me, it's all of those good things. Keep
Mhm.
learning, and you know what? Giving is a really important thing too. So, again, it links into connection. But if you look at getting involved in your local community, or just generally, volunteering, it's a good way. You'll feel better. That will help you, and actually, you're connecting again. It all links to that connection.
Well, that's perfect. Thank you so much. My question would be, as you say, like mental health first aider, how can I get in contact with that? Because sometimes when I'm at the point and say, hey, I want to change, I need support now. I don't need it like in 3 weeks' time when I get an
Mhm.
appointment anywhere. Anything you could share, like how to get in contact? What's
So,
my support?
so at the moment, we have rolled this out in the UK, for
Right,
Atos in the UK and Ireland colleagues. We reached out, where we were contacted by Denise in the US, and
right.
we started to look at rolling that out in the US. But if anyone is interested, then please do reach out to me. I'd be happy to share what we've done, both internally with Atos, but also externally as well. I have worked with other organisations who were
Great.
setting up mental health first aiders in the UK at the same time. So yeah, really happy to for people to reach out if they want to understand how we've done it.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. And what we're going to do for all the participants is maybe afterwards, also in this conversation under this video, going to share a link and where you can find some more information,
Yeah.
where you
Yep.
can head. So if you're taking the route to go there, thank you so much, Mary, for sharing that, what you have
Absolute
done,
pleasure.
how you see it, and also your takeaway. And success for your meditation.
Yes.
Let's see how this evolves. But going out into nature also, you just have to find your own way, or?
Indeed.
to clean out your head again. Thank you so much for being with us, Mary. It was an absolute pleasure. And yeah, let's stay in contact and see what we can do. We're going to post a link afterwards. Thank you, Mary. And
Thank you, Mary.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Tim, also for sharing it, because it's hard, but it's not the hardest thing, or I think you thought it will be harder. Just like a question. Was it that hard now talking with us?
I was nervous beforehand because it was
Right.
such a personal subject, but I feel very relieved to have discussed it. And I'm going to celebrate with a cup of tea now.
Well,
Maybe something a bit stronger later on. I don't know.
I think you can celebrate. And what I saw is just like how your smile changed in a way, and you kept that smile up, and it's so open, it's so positive. And I just like can say, please keep that positiveness, your way of smiling, your way of engaging with people. You're giving so much. Maybe sometimes you don't know about that, but you just like get people motivated, doing more and more things, sharing their stories, and also like go live on a topic like that. Thank you so much, Tim, for this. That's absolutely great.
Thank you, Friso. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. With that, and have a great day. Bye-bye. That was another great Atos Smart Manufacturing Fireside Chat Humanity series. And I think it was really special. When we start sharing personal stories, it's another topic than sharing a business success or a reference or what we have achieved. But taking care of ourselves is so important, because we're the most important thing for ourselves, and we have to take care on that. We are the most important resource, and we should take care on our energy level. Let us know what you think about that. Also, if you want to have a comment, maybe also on thanking Tim or just encouraging him on his way to go, feel free to do so. We're happy to forward that. If you have any other question or a topic you want to share with your dear colleagues worldwide in one of the other humanity series, please also let us know. As always, it's an absolute pleasure having you with us on an Atos Smart Manufacturing Fireside Chat. Looking forward to see you very soon for the next one. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, and bye-bye.